Samati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
So, yeah, just to introduce briefly, we're sitting here at the Murari Sevaka, which is been around actually. It's a farm community. Prabhupada come here or? No, okay. But it's been around since.
But he did supply the money to buy it.
Okay, yeah. That was in the 70s.
Yeah.
70s, yeah. And so we're here with Gadi Prabhu, who is been connected actually with Murari Sevaka for quite some time. I think you were instrumental, in bringing Gornikata, isn't it? What year was that?
76.
76, right. So I think this is my second visit here. I, wanted to, for the benefit of people who, and it's probably a majority of devotees who haven't come here yet, but what would you like to maybe convey or explain about Murari Sevaka and in terms of what Srila Prabhupada wanted or desired and how things have been developing, let's say, in the last couple of years, because I think you've been here for the last few years, right, full time. Now that always makes a big difference, and you can speak a little bit about what Murari Sevaka is about, what it's doing, what it hopes to do, and things like that. And in between, I might interject or something to get some clarification.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not nervous.
Yeah. Okay.
There seems to be a special destiny for this special place, and the prevailing mood here is that of strong and profound confrontations with everything that's inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you bring with you a lot of material desires, that probably won't work. And even we have tried to accommodate people with material desires. It becomes a physical impossibility because it's so far to travel just to have a job here.
Okay.
So unless you have some specific cottage industry or something that you are that you can do in such a remote place like this, then probably not the right place. But more than that, I've read and I've a few times how Srila Prabhupada wanted to have a society free from envy. That this was actually an achievable goal. Well, I wrote one article about a year ago and put it out there on the butts, and people were responding. Some people very favorable, and some people say impossible. Devotees cannot be non-envious.
Okay.
So the fact is, though, that Prabhupada wouldn't write such a thing, or suggest such a thing, or suggest or promote such an idea unless it was actually achievable.
Mm-hmm.
But of course that desire has to manifest in the heart of a particular disciple and who's become dedicated to that end. So in that regard we have some ashram rules which are not earth-shattering, but they are they're very important to follow for one to be able to become a person who has freedom from this torture of envy, which everyone actually feels. So I believe it's possible, not only possible, but it will happen. But to do that, there's a very specific process that has to take place, and that is, first of all, you have to desire it. You have to be willing to be free from fault finding. You have to be willing to be free from conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to be free to put your own desires aside and have absolutely no propensity whatsoever to find fault with others, any others, devotees here as well as devotees outside, or anywhere, or any person anywhere. So if we can truly live by prayer number 3 of Lord Chaitanya's Shastra prayers, then we will be able to live in an environment that is revolutionary. It will actually, a sense of happiness and peace and human interactions which are so delightful that no other place will ever do. And so this is where the idea of Vrindavan village comes into the picture, because if you read carefully our scriptures concerning Krishna's pastimes, then you'll understand that all of the associates in the spiritual world, they are free from envy. They are only interested in cooperating with each other for the ultimate good of giving Krishna happiness. So when that particular focus can become the primary force which naturally evolves from the heart through the process of chanting Harinam Sankirtan. Because Lord Chaitanya has given us Harinam Sankirtan, He has given us the medicine by which we can actually attain these, what may seem like lofty goals, but actually it's just coming to normal human life. Non-envious life, a life of freedom from all of the dualities that we find so unpleasant and that we're trying to get away from by becoming devotees of Krishna. Everyone becomes a devotee of Krishna because they want this ultimate happiness, this ultimate peace. But we find that also devotees are very argumentative, and they also can be disposed of political motivations, and they can be disposed of a lot of negative experiences and thoughts. So we're very, very careful, and everyone has to be very careful. We have to be very careful as to who wants to come to Murari, because we realize that this is a very, very delicate system of coming together with like-minded souls who really want this. There cannot be a mixture of things. If there's a mixture of things, then envy will still enter the picture.
Right.
So this is a wonderful transcendental experiment, but actually it's actually working. That's the other remarkable thing. That these things can be learned, and they can be imbibed. They can be actually, one can find oneself so happy in Krishna consciousness, so happy in this pursuit of pure Harinam chanting, that the thoughts of finding fault with others just disappears, because you simply had your happiness that you've been searching for. Right. So because of that, we are actually experiencing a profound and remarkable human interactions based on trust and love and trust and not finding fault with others. That's simply not allowed. Sometimes you have to discern whether somebody, and you have to discriminate as to if somebody has a particular quality that may not be capable of getting rid of quickly, or so. Anyway, these things we encourage everyone to, of course, to chant a lot of chanting, a lot of Harinam Sankirtan, because this is the only medicine that will cure the heart of the soul and to bring him to that point of capable or qualified to associate with the Supreme Personality of God.
Is there one maybe a question or clarification, whether here at the Murari Sevaka there are particular guidelines or prescriptions in terms of, because I think the place is advertised, what is it, as Kirtan Valley, is it?
Kirtan Valley.
Kirtan Valley, yeah. And you've had, I think, festivals where naturally,
Sure.
yeah, there's people coming from,
Sure.
and the focus being Kirtan a lot. I guess my question is it that here in the community, one does spend more time, for example, in Kirtan than other places possibly, or must, or more chanting, or something?
We're not chanting as much as we want to, because in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 3, text 203, Srila Prabhupada describes in that verse the daily activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita. And Advaita would make arrangements for the daily activities of Lord Chaitanya. The daily activities, Prabhupada said, would be that they would discuss Krishna during the day, and then they would prepare a nice feast. And Advaita would use his funds to create a nice feast. And then Prabhupada said they would have at least 3 hours of kirtan every night. And so at least. And then Prabhupada says in the purport that, I don't know if many people have read this, but I've read it, and we are working towards this, that this system of 3-hour kirtan, speaking about Krishna, having a nice prasadam, this system must be adopted in all of our Krishna conscious centers. Not should or could or maybe, but must. So, therefore, as Srila Prabhupada has given so many different types of instructions for so many different types of people, and for so many different types of, we'll say, levels of Krishna conscious development, that we seem to be gravitating toward that particular instruction, and we feel that would be a worthwhile endeavor to bring us to that point of having at least 3 hours of kirtan every night.
Okay.
Although we're not doing it. But at least we're shooting for 1 night a week, and even that's difficult. So, because we have farm activities and so forth, and then what happens is, what if you have 3 hours of kirtan every night? You start at 7, you're done at 10. By the time you wind down and have some milk, it's 11, or 12 maybe. And so, where does the morning program go after that? So, this is a balance that we're trying to figure out. What Prabhupada is saying: if you do this, how do you do this? How do you do this other part? So, how do you try to pull it all together and keep it all intact?
Balance.
So, it is. But that is a very attractive program for us to try to reach that 3 hours of kirtan every night. And what that does, it gives all the Murariites, it gives them a sense of true happiness, and go to sleep at night with all this kirtan going through their system. and they wake up in the morning and they're ready to chant their japa, and they want to do it again. And it's like, and so the day's activities go on very easily, because there don't seem to be a great burden, because that's simply by that association of kirtan, one experiences the real happiness that we're designed, and that they're hoping, our triers are hoping, that we'll actually take advantage of. And then, and also as far as the rest of society goes, we have programs that we go out as much as possible. We just did one in Tuscaloosa, and just the weekend before that, we went to the Jagannath Temple in Huntsville, and they become very good friends of ours.
So a few times a month.
Dr. Sahu and his beautiful temple there. Lord Jagannath is 7 feet tall. Oh, isn't that little Jagannath? We're talking, first time I saw him, I almost lost it. Whoa! I felt like I was in Jagannath, really. And they are the central deities in that temple, in Jagannath, in Huntsville. That's only 40 minutes from here.
Oh, I see.
So they invited us down. Of course, they invite us down every year. And this year we went, and we did kirtan for them. They invited us down to do kirtan for the Rath Yatra, which is only a small Rath Yatra around the parking lot. And then it goes down to Lord Jagannath's temporary quarters where he's secluded. And then the next week, we went back the next week.
He doesn't move, right? Lord
The big Lord stone. They have about 2 foot Lord Jagannath that go on the car.
So they go, yeah.
And so the next week we went back because they said, well, you have to come back next week when Lord Jagannath comes back. And I said, okay, I'll come back. So we went back, and the mayor of Athens was there, and he was been mayor, or he's not the mayor any longer, but he was the mayor for 14 years.
Okay.
And now he's a congressman. He's in the state senate, so he's got and he was saying also about this gridlock thing. Now, when you were talking about gridlock, he's saying it was so easy. 14 years of everybody cooperating. There was no partisanship as a mayor. We got so many things done. He said, "Oh my God!" When I went to the state senate, it was like he said it was. It's like everybody's fighting, arguing, and so many things get put off, and nothing. So many things don't get done because of all this partisanship. So, but he did graciously take a Bhagavad Gita and science of self-realization, perfection of yoga, and we talked about Murari, and we can become Murari sometime. Very, very nice fellow.
So every month you have some
Well, always doing something, yeah. So in this way, the spreading or the making Krishna available to others is always on our minds how to do it. And even we have this beautiful market. It's an online market, and our customers now are calling to come and take a tour of the farm. And one lady came. Her name was Rebecca Allred, and she has a yoga studio in Winchester, and so she's invited us over for kirtan. This all came about from selling the products.
Can you tell a little bit about the selling of product? What you were mentioning yesterday, online, like that, and how it's.
And so now the people they all want to come to the farm to see where this is all coming from, and it's made some very nice relationships with. A lot of these people must be Christians because we always drop it off at the First Christian Church in Tullahoma on the platform there, and but they're all so nice. I go just as I am, and they say, "Oh, Mr. Gadi, how you doing, Mr. Gadi?" And I go, "Mr. Gadi," and they're really sweet people, and I can see a couple of devotees in there. You could sense kind of their curiosity is a little more than...
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, but a lot of nice people, and these people are driving up in their Lexus and their Mercedes and everything to pick up their organic and high cost, expensive foodstuffs.
You don't have any market
they don't mind
here.
spending the money for it.
Here you don't have any market here? I mean, do you sell things here?
Yeah, well, just like this Indian man, I don't know, he came specifically to pick up, he wanted to get $200 worth of ghee,
Right.
His name is Srinivas.
Okay. Yeah.
And his wife is in New Orleans, but he's working in Nashville, so he's picking up the ghee. But he says, more than that, he says, I want to come to the kirtan tonight. I'm picking up the ghee from my wife. Right. I want to go to the kirtan.
Yeah.
So in this way, the kirtan really has created the blossoming of everything else. Mm-hmm. And so these people will naturally come. Just a couple of days ago, some country folks came from Lynchburg and they said, "Hey, we heard you sell milk." So I said, "Well, we haven't got any milk right now because they were actually just at the barn and you didn't have anything bottled up." So what do you have? I said, "Well, we got some paneer, some cheese." He said, "Oh, I'll take one of those." So he took paneer, and so the word's getting out. The word's getting out, and I think our economics are going to be quite simple, quite easy.
You were making a nice point yesterday how it's like with the different products over and above the milk, some of the products you're making, such as ghee, for example, then every week or every month, you exchange that and it's helping. Yeah. You're making the point that actually it's not that we have to, the cows are supporting us, not the other way around.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Very true.
Yeah, important theme actually in the Vedic culture.
Incredible theme. Matter of fact, like what you mentioned the other day, how they just eat grass. But I mentioned also before, just like you mentioned, and sometimes it's just dead grass.
Yeah, correct.
They'll just eat dead grass and still make the same stuff.
Correct.
How is that possible?
It's Krishna's miracle.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But they just eat dead grass and they're happy with that. They're okay, we're okay with dead grass.
Yes.
Gotta have grass though. Gotta have some grass.
Yes, right.
That is an astonishing piece of machinery.
Yeah. So you were mentioning that more and more people you're interacting with. You can mention about that.
We just did a kirtan up in a yoga studio in Nashville with this girl named Amy. She's pretty famous in Nashville for kirtan and stuff. So we do kirtans together. We had this kirtan. This time, the first time we ever brought milk products. We brought ghee, we brought shrikand, we brought yogurt and bread.
Right.
Sold out in 10 minutes. I mean, top price. 50 people were there. They were fighting over this stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, and then I get orders coming to my email.
Okay.
For more ghee and more yogurt, and they want more. So when are you coming back? Like this. So the cows are doing everything. They're actually allowing us to have a normal contact with people.
Okay.
And then they learn them and they chant Krishna. They chant like anything.
Yeah. Right.
Chant Hare Krishna so nicely.
Well, it's like the residents of Vrindavan, right? And every day the gopis they carry milk products. Right?
Of course, sometimes they would be accosted on the way to Mathura by a certain unreliable boatman.
Yes. But there's a whole economy, That's how they sustain themselves.
Yeah. Well, they said that Nanda Maharaj had 900,000 cows.
Right.
And he had so much milk, that it rivaled Indra, the king of heaven, because he could literally buy anything with the milk.
Right.
Didn't have to have money. He just, dear Yashodaji, would you like some jewelry? Give this man 200 gallons of milk. And then in trade, everything is in barter. So the milk would be the means of barter.
Yeah, and different milk products.
And 900,000 cows, thousands of gallons of milk every day, and all kinds of employees, gopas, carrying this milk, and processing the milk, and doing.
So that's why, like we were discussing, the main economy, and that's why kings, those who are leaders in society, give so much of importance to agriculture, protection of cows, because that is a main economy.
It's the main thing.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. And then they produce also the fertilizer, so you can grow the rest of the things you want.
Correct. Yeah.
And medicines for whatever may ail you.
Yes.
In the form of the urine and cow dung.
It's amazing how, although it's such, it's like a perfect system, but we have managed. But, Prabhupada does mention that it's only quite recent that we have deviated. We means that society in general have deviated from that.
Gone so far away from it,
And so far away, correct.
Because you go to the grocery stores and it's just lines and rows of processed food, and it's just
it's killing us.
It's just deadly. It really is deadly. It just makes everybody fat because you can't digest it properly. The fat builds up. Yes. And you see these poor people checking out sometimes, and they're like 300 pounds, 400 pounds.
Well, that's amazing.
And they got just a cart full of crap. And their lives are shortened. Their lives are I'm sure they all have diabetes.
Right.
Most people have diabetes.
And when you're overweight, that creates, heart attacks also. Because your blood circulation, whatever.
Circulation problem.
Yeah, so many things. So you have good hopes for Murari Sevaka. What a question.
What a question. I have absolute complete faith that Murari would be one of the most beautiful wonders of the world someday.
Yeah. Actually,
in terms of Vrindavan village.
What are your plans for the next, you were mentioning.
And it's not by my doing either. I'm just staying out of the way. I'm just trying to let Krishna do what he wants.
Correct. One of the things that you were sharing with me about, now you have Gornitai, and maybe down the line, you might...
Not that far down the line, hopefully. Maybe a year.
Okay, maybe 1 year, okay. Within a relatively short time.
Radha and Krishna. We're not going to go to the great expense at that point. We're going to do some alterations.
Yes.
On the altar. And try to accommodate them both, HG Gadi and Radha and Krishna on the same altar.
Right.
Can be done. I did some measurements.
Okay. Got that worked out also. You know.
Got that part worked out.
That's good.
I had the seamstress, my wife.
Right.
She's the best.
Nice. Yes.
So,
actually, it's a little bit like 2 years back. I think right after I visited here at Murari Sevaka, I had gone to Europe and I had gone to Krishna Valley. And of course, they have Lord Chaitanya, they have Varnasrama-Dharma.
Is it Krishna Valley? Is that in
Hungary? Yeah.
Hungary.
Shiva Maharaj. So, it's like Vrindavan.
Bible says create Vrindavan villages. He means it.
Yes.
He does not just like I was saying. He wants Vrindavan village.
Yes.
Where that Vrindavan starts really in the deepest core of the heart and expands from there. And then everyone else will find their place in the system from that point. When that is going on very nicely, that core is going on very solidly, very sweetly, very nicely, everyone who comes there, they want to be part. And somehow, according to their ability, they will engage in Krishna service in some way.
So is Murari Sevaka kind of like open to, if somebody would be interested, what would they have to do? Or, of course, you did mention in the very beginning that, there's a certain mood, there are certain principles like that, naturally.
Yeah, because we've experienced that some people will come with all good intentions and they're very sweet devotees, but they'll be filled with
expectations.
Or they'll be filled with having some, let's say, troubling experiences in a spiritual institution somewhere, and they'll bring all this with them in the form of negativities and things like this. And when you have a small group like this, that small core has to be very focused and very clear. You have disturbances that come in. You can't really do anything. It just puts everything in a very slow motion when there's someone who is intent on, let's say, bringing up unpleasant things and talking about politics and talking negatively about this devotee or that devotee.
Right.
So it just doesn't mix. And, it's the place trying to create, again, go back to the very beginning, a place free from envy, where it's based on, and that can only take place if there is very, very strong Harinam Sankirtan.
Right.
Kirtan has to be strong and has to be continuous and unbroken, and then all of the devotees will be very happy, and then these things automatically disappear. All these unwanted things will automatically disappear. That's our hope, to be able to fulfill that desire of Prabhupada's, to creating such a village and society like that. It will be such an example to the world.
Of course.
That people can live together in such a remarkable way.
How many families do you think could eventually, according to this, you have 260 acres or something? Yeah, the acres is no problem. Okay.
And even we have right now about 7 different places cleared for cabin building. Okay. But we don't really have a cabin builder. We don't have anybody to really, strike up and start doing this. But
we've selected some places.
The lumber is still piled up over there. I mean, it's fine. And it's also warm. It's a hard time of year to work in out there. But I'm sure Krishna will send. Actually, funny thing. Curtis, he was just telling me the other day. He has 2 roommates, and one of them smokes, and so he said, "I can't take this anymore." Okay. So he went and bought lumber, and he built himself a storage shed in the backyard. And he moved into the storage shed. Right. And that's where he came from, the storage shed to here.
Interesting.
So, I mean, he's another remarkable person, and just completely fit in, just immediately. As soon as we actually were on our way to, we were on our way back from the first Huntsville engagement at Jagannath Temple. So we were kind of packed in there, and we stopped to pick him up. He was on the way back in this place called Hazel Green. It's just a town just north of Huntsville.
Right.
So he's there. He's on the porch, and he's got his backpack and other belongings. He puts them in the back. He gets in, and there wasn't even a moment of uncomfortableness with this person. You know what I mean? You know how I mean, you get in the car and you don't know anybody, and he just had such a sense of peace about it. And when he started speaking, outside everybody just felt, and the conversation just flowed. You know, it was quite remarkable.
Right. He blended in.
It was very nice. So, as we move along, Krishna will send. But he has some carpentry skills. So.
Okay.
But he's only been here a couple of weeks, 3 weeks now, and so it's
so you
let him get his,
yeah.
He'll strengthen, with the program and chanting and everything. And but he has worked in the garden, and he's carrying hay out and putting hay down around in the garden with Nischala. Now Nischala, you didn't meet Nischala either. She's there was another couple here just left. They were here for 3 months from Australia.
Okay. But
I'm working on her immigration papers right now, so she wants to come back.
Interesting.
Her husband, he's probably not coming back right away. But we had some very nice exchanges. But Nischala is, she's just so energetic.
There's somebody else from Australia who's planning to come to Bhaktivedanta. I don't think it's the same person, but it's interesting how people even from far away want to come to these kind of places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.